So ladies, I hear you're looking for a man in finance with a trust fund. Well, that goes without saying, of course. 6'5" and blue eyes. Well, look no further. Because a man who has that many boxes ticked probably isn't the straightest ruler in the toolbox. Or he only exists in sensual romance novels, which would make Henry Miller turn in his grave. But maybe I'm just saying that because, unfortunately, I don't exactly possess all those essential qualifications. I mean, I do have blue eyes, there's that. I mean, something to put on my resume, I guess. Although I'm not sure if that alone is enough to make the cut. So to find a man that matches that specific criteria and has all of those attributes is extremely rare. I mean, even if you're searching across the entire world, it basically narrows it down to like 0.000108% of men. I mean, trust me, I actually looked this up. Nowadays, the standards are somewhat high in today's competitive dating market, which requires you to be the top multiple zeros 1% man. Best of luck, gentlemen. I mean, if you're starting from ground zero, I'm sure it'll be worth the effort. So yeah, most of these things are not really going to be in your control. And let's say you do match all that criteria. There is an expectation that you also better be cool, suave, seductive, dangerous, a handsome gentleman with a six-pack. A real-life Christian Grey or Bruce Wayne type. In his early 20s, who happened to inherit $1 billion from his parents. You've got to be able to fly out your girl to Monaco at a moment's notice and attend the most exclusive events, and all your best friends, you work together with them. She's always going to be, within arm's length from someone who's pretty much the same as you. Your family also needs to have various elite connections. I think you get the idea. That's the ideal image. The influencer version of what a young man in banking or finance tends to look like. The glamorous lifestyle, rather than a guy, screaming his head off at a stock exchange trading floor. So it's not like you really need to be an authentic hedge fund manager or finance tech dork, who's always going on about, stock market analysis, cryptocurrency, and retirement planning. That's just not as exciting or stimulating to the ears. It's about the perks of the profession and not the profession itself. I guess that's when expectation doesn't quite meet reality. But if that happens to be an industry that highly interests you, then you got to be in it for you, if that's something you're passionate about. Not just because some girl on TikTok copying another girl on TikTok says that's what she desires. What I think the ladies might really be looking for is someone like Baron Trump. Is he in finance specifically? Who cares? When your dad is or was the president, then we're on that top G world leader era. Finance is for the small-time rookies. Girl, you got to compete for the elite. Why would you settle for less when you deserve the best? And yes, he does have blue eyes. Is he 6'5" though? Bruh, he's 6'8". So I don't know, does that make him overqualified, or has he just set a new gold standard? Damn, it's getting brutal out there. Even though I know it's meant to be a bit of a joke, I think, it's all somewhat satirical, so try not to take it too seriously. You want my advice, gentlemen? Just live your life and stop stressing about TikTok trends so much. So the least I can do, or the most I can do really, is to help you attain the image of the ideal man in finance. Everything else is something you can only really attain yourself, to an extent. Although most of these things are kind of out of your control anyway. If you want to be a man in finance, go into finance. If you don't have a trust fund, I mean, perhaps track down your long lost relatives, who might, you might be lucky, I don't know. If you don't have blue eyes, wear contacts. Well, personally, I don't think it's worth it. If you're not 6'5", what are you going to do? Get leg lengthening surgery? Please don't. I mean, trying to get to 6'5" when you're under 6 foot is obviously going to be a bit of a stretch. So I suppose you could just wear elevated shoes or shoeless to add a few inches to where apparently it counts the most. Any girl you meet in the club will immediately want to go home with you. Then she'll tell you to leave as soon as you take off the shoes, when she eventually realizes that you're not as tall as she thought you were. You leave the house feeling all defeated and think, wait, why am I walking away from my own house? So if you're walking around the financial district of, say, London or New York, you're most likely going to see guys who are dressed in a certain way to signify that they probably work in finance. If it's not a fine tailored suit, then it's often a Patagonia gilet. Not really my thing, to be honest. It's kind of like the broccoli haircut. Everyone's got one, yet they don't realize that they're contributing to the meme. It's essentially unintentional cosplay, in which they're blissfully unaware of what they're doing. One could say the same thing about, the slick back Patrick Bateman Gordon Gekko haircut. And also, don't forget the essential Rolex Submariner. Sure, it's a nice watch. Do I want one? Why not? If you gave it to me as a gift, I'm not going to turn it down. Do I feel like I absolutely need one? Well, not really, because it has become such a common status symbol that literally everyone has one nowadays. Okay, maybe not literally everyone, but you know what I mean. It doesn't seem as special as it used to. It's like, you also got yourself a sub? Join the club. Whereas I will happily settle for a club sandwich at Subway. If you see these guys at a cafe, they'll often find any excuse to smoke a cigar and have a picture taken whilst doing so. For the gram, of course. It's more so with the younger dudes who only have just transitioned from vaping on the regular. So you might not even be into banking as such. Maybe you're more of a blue collar guy and might feel a bit, out of place whilst walking around these areas such as, the City of London or Wall Street. But you can take away the stylish aspects of some of these guys who have that man in finance aesthetic. Great style is undeniable, no matter what someone does for a living. You might not be in the same financial bracket, but at least other people will think that you are. The kind of man that runs the office rather than runs away from responsibility and the HR department. So essentially what we're going for is the smart casual or business casual look, which can be tricky to define at times. But when you see it, you know that's what it is. There are basically unspoken fashion rules in the office in regards to corporate drip. That isn't a full-on 2-piece or 3-piece suit. This is a pretty versatile look and should be perfectly acceptable in most business environments, but it can also work for more leisurely occasions as well. So I might as well give you guys my definitive guide on the smart casual aesthetic. A man in finance who isn't the stereotypical cosplay of a man in finance. Is there similarities between smart casual and the old money aesthetic? Sure. Although with old money, I would associate that more with someone who's in finance, but we wear that on the weekend as opposed to in the office. So what do these guys usually wear on their feet? Now I know finance bros would sometimes wear trainers or sneakers. I don't really have an issue with sneakers as they are comfortable, but trainers isn't really the way to go in my opinion. Unless you're a billionaire, of course. If you're not only the boss of the office, but you own the entire enterprise, then fair enough. You have that right. You can basically walk in a busy office and make a speech on the fly. Be like, hey everybody, I just wanted to say, I don't know who any of you are, but I'm sure you're doing a great job, for my company. and just keep working hard so that, we as a big as a family can attain more profits so that I can buy my wife a nice handbag and get myself a pair of Versace trainers. So, loafers. Not my thing personally, but hey, it's often what they wear, so if you like loafers, go for it.
Those shoes. They're Italian, aren't they?
My shoes, I believe so.
Yeah, that's interesting. You don't find them too effeminate?
No.
What I would say about shoes should be presentable, but not overly formal. So the most formal I would go for are a pair of, brown brogues, but generally speaking, suede derbies or suede chukka boots does the trick. It strikes the perfect balance between casual and formal. Chelsea boots are also good to add a bit more sophistication. So blue, brown and beige are usually very good choices. Perhaps reserve the black Oxfords for the more formal attire. Now, generally speaking, the brands Charles Tyrwhitt, John Henrik and Reiss are safe bets when choosing a brand for the smart casual look. They're consistent and pretty much have everything you would need in the style. So when it comes to trousers or pants, as Americans would say, you could say that there is an unspoken rule that chinos are the standard choice. Sure, if they let you wear jeans in the office, you can also do that. Consider yourself truly blessed if you're able to have casual Fridays.
Oh, and remember, next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
If I were to recommend 2 essential colors regarding chinos off the bat, it'd be tan beige and navy. Then, if you want to add more colors to your collection, then perhaps gray, brown, dark green. Now you have a solid range of colors to choose from. What's great about chinos is that they do have quite a professional appearance. They're typically made from lighter, more breathable fabrics, which can be particularly advantageous in warm weather or in an office, especially for when you're sitting at a desk for hours on end. Next, we have buttoned up shirts. Standard really. Long sleeve polos are also a good option, but a bit more on the casual side. But typically, buttoned up shirts are the classic way to go. Every man needs a blue and white buttoned up formal shirt. A blue and white striped button shirt is also a good one to have. And beyond that, there are endless possibilities of colors and patterns you can go for. Basically, I like to keep it simple. If you wish to stand out a bit more, then consider different shades of pink or purple. Ties are optional, but not essential for this particular look, unless the office absolutely requires you to wear a tie, of course. So in that case, you might as well wear just a suit and tie. Overall, a tie adds a few more points to the smart end of the scale. In this case, it's an accessory which should be accompanied by something over the shirt, like a jumper or some kind of sweater. So then you can truly make a significant impact and have, a strong look rather than just looking like a dork who wears ties. So what do we want to put over the shirt? Well, there are various options. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the sleeveless gilet. I am, however, for the quilted jumpers, the long sleeve ones. So when it gets a little colder, I'd also recommend quarter zip jumpers, a full zip merino wool cardigan. It's got the warmth that you need on chilly days, but it's also breathable. That makes a great non-sweaty layering piece. We also have a V-neck or a round neck sweater. The top colors for any of these are navy, grey and black. Other suggestions are beige and dark green. If you really want to stand out at some point, you could go for a bright blue, cream and light green. Who knows, maybe wearing those colors will help you get a promotion.
For months you've been hinting that I was in line for that promotion?
And look how hard you've been working.
What, were you just lying to me?
Lying? No, Nick. Motivating.
Want to add some more formality with a blazer? Sure, a brown one, a beige or navy one works best in my opinion. If it gets hot, consider going for a linen blazer, because you don't want to be, boiling and sweating in the office just for the sake of keeping up the image of being that guy who wears a blazer. What about when you're outside and it's getting chilly? Well, obviously we would have put something over that as well. So for that, I recommend something like an elegant wool overcoat that matches the smart attire underneath. Almost looks like a very elongated blazer. Something similar to the coat that Jason Bourne wears. So that you can have that covert Sigma male style of a man looking to make money without bragging or making a big deal about it. Or a pea coat, in my case. We also have the Mac raincoat. This one is from Charles Tyrwhitt and is great because it has a removable gilet, which is perfect for when it starts getting hotter. This is generally my go-to choice when I'm wearing a suit underneath, as it's lightweight and it goes well with the smart aesthetic overall. I believe that the more toned down colours are the best place to start, as it makes the least amount of fuss. You're dressed for work, but you might as well look good when you're working. You're not paid to look good, although I think looking good at least deserves a few more, a few compliments and perhaps a few more dollars added to your salary, if there was any true justice in this world. So you can always refer back to this video whenever you need a reminder as to what the hell even is a smart casual style. So there you have it, guys. Now you look like a high-value, 7-figure man in finance, even if the bank account doesn't quite match the image. Perhaps you have even more money than a man in finance. Who knows? The world is changing. There are new ways to get ahead in this landscape. But anyways, let's say a girl is looking for a man in finance, but then she sees you, and she'll stay looking at you, at least for a few seconds longer than the actual legitimate financial analyst. One thing that they might not have over you is the same fashion sense, riz, or quality drip with excellent color coordination as you have. Because you got that corporate swagger all day, bro. Man, what the hell am I even saying? Why do I sound like a kid? Anyway, you're presenting yourself in the best possible way. You might be asking, so what do you do for a living? And you might be thinking, shit, I don't actually work in finance. I'm a bricklayer. Then she'll respond with, well, that's not the only thing getting laid tonight. So why try and be a Bill Gates when you can be an Elon Musk? Okay, I'm not sure if those are the best examples, but the point is not to look like the typical nerdy version of a certain archetype, when you can choose to become the cool, modern version of it. Dress well, no matter what your profession. And I don't know, maybe you'll get lucky and she'll actually respond to your text. I'm not saying that you should try and dress like a style influencer, because it depends on your environment, of course. But ideally, you want to maximize attraction as well as shareholder value. You may be good with numbers, but you'll be even better at getting numbers. And so with that being said, hopefully you found this video interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.